NCRP Productions presents Feast of Legends, the Wendy's role-playing game. Order number 1.
Hey everybody, this is Pedro, and welcome to Feast of Legends. Hello everybody.
Woo!
Thank you.
We've been waiting so long for this.
I'm so hungry.
Yep, so we're going to go ahead and start today by introducing our players first, starting with...
What up, gamers? It's me, John, fan favorite. Tonight I'll be playing Jules Leotard of the Order of the French Fries.
Yeah, and this is Mike. I will be playing Elados D'Arctique, the Order of the Frosty.
Hey, this is Barry. I will be running Cranston Tater, the Order of the Baconator Fries.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I will be running Lady Holsteena, the Order of the Baconator.
And we're back to me, Pedro, who will be your game master, or as we might be calling it here or there, the Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Dave.
Hi, Hey, everybody. Yeah, another Dave game master. Well, thank you all for joining me today. So if the listeners, for you, don't know what Feast of Legends is, several years back, and I forgot what year it was.
2019.
2019, thank you. Wendy's, that's right, Wendy's, the fast food chain, came out with a D&D clone. They made their own role-playing setting and game. And I remember it coming out and discovering it and being like, okay, I really want to run this at some point. So we are going to be doing that. We'll be doing it a little bit differently from the tone of the book, but if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's whoever put their time into this. It's funny. There's some groans and it's funny. But we are going to be playing it today. So we are going to go ahead and start in by, I want you all to imagine zooming over a landscape, a large continent at first, surrounded by water. There's some continents above and below, but they're not anything to worry about. You begin going over this island that has a mass of mountains at the top and bottom. It's this large center area that has massive lakes and forests, different biomes, and you are looking at the realm of Beef's Keep. This is the land of the Wendy's role-playing game. And we're going to zoom over the land as you cross the top Bun Mountains. You can see the bottom Bun Mountains off in the distance to the south. We'll cross over Lake John Silver as you see a massive amount of boats all fishing, bunch of little yellow jacket dots on them. We'll zoom over the twin cities of Carl, the double massive cities, and passing over a forest that, if you were there, you would be smelling the great fragrance of French fries, the French fry forest. And that's when we pan over the great nation of Freshtovia, the country that is ruled over by Wendy, the clapback queen. That is what it says in the book.
Stupid.
And it is a wonderful nation that believes in, above all else, freshness. Never fresh, never frozen.
No, always fresh, never
always
frozen.
fresh. Yeah, there we go.
Always fresh, never frozen.
Always fresh, never frozen. Thank you, Barry. And anywho,
How do they feel about corners?
they do not cut corners. That is another big thing. They do not cut corners in Freshtovia. And all of our players are Freshtovian citizens from one location in Freshtovia or another, and you all are heroes of Freshtovia. You, over the last 6 months of being in a band, have made a name for yourself as you have sought out to defeat the plans of the Ice Jester, who is trying to bring the deep freeze across the land. Now, the deep freeze, which is where we begin panning towards, the freeze itself is this, what you've been described by Wendy as an evil entity that is slowly seeping into the lands of Beef Keep and infecting people with the idea and the ability to have frozen meat. This heretical idea against the freshness that should be in all food. And one of the first people to fall was the Jester, and who is now the Ice Jester, located in the Deep Freeze, the south easternmost point of Beef's Keep, which is what we start panning over. We'll pan over the large gate, the Beef Gate, which kind of separates this deep freeze from the rest of Freshtovia and the rest of the nations. Now, Wendy has taken up the mantle because of her belief in Freshness that she must stop the deep freeze from spreading. And you all have been tasked to do so, and over the last few days, you have fought your way past the Beef Gate and into the deep freeze to the Ice Jesters' lands. And we are going to open within the Ice Jester's lair. After several days of fighting to get to him, you finally have breached into his cavern. As you enter into the cavern, and you'll see up on the throne the Ice Jester himself, laying sideways, very snarky across the throne. So you've come to stop me, the Ice Jester? Well, you'll never be able to stop Flurry's storm. You are far too weak, and the Queen is weakening as well. And, you see this horrendously transformed jester whose hat has been changed into icicles, who has these purpley flames coming out of his eyes and his hands, pauldrons of ice. He looks mostly ice at this point, like the deep freeze has completely taken him over. And we flash forward slightly, what seems like hours, but was only minutes, as you all have begun fighting the Ice Jester. A arduous battle which has led to many scrapes and bruises, and you are all feeling very tired. As you all rally together for one final blow, you look at the Ice Jester, who is now bleeding this purplish ice out of the cracks within him, but he still seems to be standing and ready. He says, You will not finish this. You will not stop me no matter what you do. And you all know that you all might only have one more good attack in yourselves for this fight. You all are standing next to another. What do you say?
We have to finish this.
My friends, he's certainly going to attack us. Allow me to go forward. The cold does not affect me.
I think that works well, but I believe we should attack all as one unit, each of us taking a strike.
I will draw his ire.
You lead.
Yes.
And we will follow.
Will do. My friends, are you in?
For Queen Wendy.
For Wendy!
For Wendy.
Let's finish this.
I charge forward with my fork raised high, and I shout, "For Wendy!" And I am going to stab into the Ice Jester with my fork.
Rushing forward with your fork at the ready, having expended all your other attacks, you run forward. The Ice Jester just cackles as you run. You've tried this before! You will never even get through! And he brings up his hands to smash you with ice magic once more.
I steady myself, knowing that this cannot possibly hurt me.
Yes. And as this flash of ice goes forward and you try to look for the opening, what happened a few days ago flashes before you. The last kind of moment before you went out on this journey. And we go back to where you went. You had a few days before you actually had to go on this journey to be able to, kind of get your affairs in order, because this was an arduous task.
Yes.
And you decided to, after it's been about 6 months, but you decided to go see your partners back at home in the town of Soderton, within the frosty fields to the southwest of Freshtovia, still within Freshtovia. This is where you live with your partner, Von Illa, and your other partner, Zenberry. And you decided to not only drop in, but I believe you have a little gift as well.
I do. I will be bringing them this beautiful carved map that I have. It is made of permafrost. It is a carved mirror that is a map of Beef's Keep. This is something that I found along my travels, and I believe it will make my partners very happy.
Yes. And so, walking up to your home, which you haven't seen in a while, there's some new things on the outside. Like, they've added a few things to the garden, a few flowers that weren't there before. And now you're in front of the door. What do you do?
I just pushed the door open. I've been living here with these two for so long. This is nothing. Yeah.
So you'll hear, laughter coming from within the study. So you think your partners are just kind of hanging around, and then you'll hear them stop, and Zenberry says, "Did you hear the door? Did somebody come in?"
My loves, I am home.
And they'll both kind of like jump, and then you'll hear some like whispering coming from the back. And then they're gonna, they'll come out. A little different from the last time you saw them. Hair's a little bit different. Just a few changes that you notice right away. And
This is to be expected.
Yeah, and Zen walks up and is like, "Honey, you're home." And Vanilla comes up, right next to him and says, "Honey, you are home. What a surprise! We haven't seen you in so long."
Yes, I am able to come back for a few days before we go on and continue our journey. So I thought I would bring you a gift and see my two loves before I head off.
There's like a noticeable quiet for a moment. Great. That's great. I'm glad that you were able to come in. Oh, well, the door's still open. Honey, come in. And they both kind of look at one another. And Vaughn, why don't you go get some tea for us or something?
Yes, this would be nice. Yes, tea, please.
Yeah. And she'll kind of like touches up her arm, give it a little squeeze, and say, "Yeah, hon, I think that's a good idea." And she looks back at you, and then scuttles into the kitchen.
Okay.
And he just kind of, stands there and is like, "Yeah, so let's sit down on the couch."
Yes, please.
What's been happening the last 6 months? It seems like it's even been longer than that almost.
No, it feels like exactly 6 months to me. This has been very difficult. We have fought and we have destroyed most of the Ice Jesters' forces, and we are going in for the final attack for Queen Wendy. I am hoping that with this, she will see that not all cold is bad.
Yeah. I mean, research at the order's been going along well. We found a few things out. I don't think we gotta get into it right now. It's a lot of technical stuff, and I know you were there, but we don't need to talk about that right now. We can talk about other things.
Of course. So what has been happening with you?
Well, some things are new for sure. We planted some stuff in the front yard. You're gonna hear like a kind of like a crash of a cup breaking in the kitchen.
Okay.
Everything is fine. Don't worry. Shout is Vaughn. And you're like, damn. Everything has been good. And there's gonna be a little bit of a silence, and you've never had this problem with Zen before. You guys usually flow pretty well.
There is something bothering you. What is this?
Yeah, and there is. I think Vaughn's taken a while.
This is okay. We have been so close for so long. What is going on?
Yeah, and then so as he goes to say something, Vaughn will come into the room. "Okay, I have the tea," and she kind of like shakily sets it down. "Have you talked about anything while I was gone?" "Oh no, hon, I was just about to get to it. I figured you should be here." She says, "Oh, okay, yes." And so you sit down next to Zen, and
I noticed that neither of them sit next to me.
Yeah, no, they sit, on the opposite end of you, and they say, "Well, we really, okay, we should just probably say it, right, Vaughn? Yes, we should probably just get to it. We are all, men and women of science.
Yes, what
here.
is this? Say it. What is going on?"
Well, we need to talk. We have been thinking, Zen and myself. even before you left, it seemed like, you were becoming a little distant, maybe. But Vaughn, then how would you put it? All right, I'm just gonna. I'll just say it. The couple, the thruple status is changed. We.
Are you breaking up with me?
Well, it's more of a restructuring.
This is my house.
Yeah. Well, it's you and it was you in Vaughn's house, and you've been gone for 6 months, and so we were thinking that I could take back over upon the deed, and we were thinking since you're going to be working with the queen much more closely.
You expected that I would have died. This.
No, honey, no, we would not.
This is disgusting.
We wouldn't say that. No, but you did go off for 6 months. We have not heard from you. So
to fight in the war.
Well, yes, but you know what happens to people in war, and times continue forward. Yeah, things happen, and things change. But we can still, we'll still be working
Things
together.
We will do no such thing. You take my loves. You take my house. This fucking town has nothing left for me.
Well, honey, don't say that.
No! And I will throw down a little bit of ice to try to freeze their feet in place.
And so they'll both try and stand up and both, get stuck there. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? You should not do that. You should not use that here. And they'll both be looking around.
As they're doing that, I spit upon their feet.
That is disgusting.
I gather what few meager possessions I can on the way to the door, making sure that I kick the door open to break it.
It definitely, kind of goes off one of the hinges. What the hell? That's gonna have to be... Shut up.
Get fucked, both of you!
This is not what we wanted. We still wanted to be friends with you.
I turn and throw my fork, not trying to hit them, but trying to land near them. With what few possessions I have, I'm gonna walk back off into the cold, knowing that there is nothing left for me here.
And that's kind of where your flashback ends, as you're brought back into the present as you charge forward towards the Ice Jester. You see, being of some magic yourself, where this blast will go, and you think, I just need to move to the side and I can dodge that. But then you realize where that blast would go if you move, which is to your companions. So
I will not let them get hit.
As you go to stab in, you realize I can't let them be hit, and you jump in the way of the spell rather than dodging it. As you throw your fork, stabbing into the Ice Jester, it digs in deep, about an inch. You threw everything you had into that. As you are hit by this ice magic, only shielded by the moment of magic you can bring up, but you are thrown back, almost all the way back to the group of people. And you get knocked right on your ass as you go tumbling and ragdoll, barely hanging on. You just have enough consciousness to kind of blurrily see what's going on.
Elados, no!
Jules, as you shout out, you yourself realize you have but one attack left in you. What do you do?
I rush forward. I'm a very dexterous individual. I run up, and as I run forward, I reach into my coat for one of my many throwing weapons and find I have only one paring knife left. So I fling it sort of wildly at the Ice Jester as I run to see if Elados is still alive.
Excellent. So you run, and you end up having to kind of dodge a few ways, using your acrobatics out of these icicle blasts as the Ice Jester is starting to kind of circle and maneuver around, shooting these ice blasts. You calculate where he's going to be as best you can and throw. As you're calculating and jumping around, you're reminded of the fun you had a few days ago coming back to your hometown, the mining town of Knackle. And this mining town does a majority of the salt mining for Freshtovia. And this is where you grew up, where you kind of learned your tricks of the trade, and everybody there knows you. You have fun with everybody, And where we see you is kind of where your fun usually ends up, with you in a cage, being pulled along by the guards. You have a fun back and forth with the guards, you'll get into mischief. They know you. You use it maybe as a way of training them, keeping them sharp for the, dangers of the freeze against the town. But you're being, not dragged along, but kind of drove along in the back of a cart in the normal cage. You got your normal kind of accoutrement, and they put pillows in there for you. This is something that happens.
Yeah, I yell out to the captain of the guard, and I say to him, you know you'll miss me. You'll miss not having me around.
No, we won't, you salty dog.
Well, there's nothing here to keep you busy except for my shenanigans.
We have plenty to keep ourselves busy without riffraff like you causing a ruckus. And he's belting out, and as you're going down the street, people are waving, Jules, ah.
What I do for the people, for all of you out there, and I flash a smile.
Let Jules go, This is just a fun procession that normally happens, and you'll see somebody, sneaking through the crowds, kind of shoving their way. A young little whippersnapper that you're very familiar with. Got this little red cap on, little red outfit, some nice little working pants on, and he runs up. He's covered with, salt crystals from working in the salt mines. Has a little, salt lung cough as he runs up. And you know that this is Little Pepper, or Pep, as people call him. And he runs up to the cage, running along the side. You let Mr. Jules go! He's the he's the best of us! He helps the people! Hey Jules, how's it going?
Hey Pep, it's going fine. Don't worry, I'll be back before you know it. I'm gonna really give the guards a show this time.
That's right, you hear that? He's gonna make sure to break out this time. That's great. It was really fun seeing you. Thanks for playing while you could.
Yeah, Pep, make sure you go and you check in the regular spot. I left a gift for you there.
Thank you so much, Jules. I always appreciate your gifts.
You take care of yourself, Pep, now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm hardy, so I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're a tough little man. You make me proud.
Thank you. I'm proud that you're my hero. You're gonna go take down the Ice Jester, aren't you?
Absolutely. He won't know what hit him.
Jules, and he'll just start dancing in the street, and everybody starts, shouting as well. Yes, as Barry is indicating, he's flossing in the streets. A dance known in every world.
Well, you have to floss all of the delicious Wendy's food out of your teeth.
That is correct.
So you get a second meal.
You get a second meal, yes.
Oh.
Still fresh.
It's still fresh.
As long as you do it quick enough.
Never frozen.
It is. And so as you ride off waving to the town, you'll see little Pep there dancing and waving at you. As
flossing?
The town, yeah, flossing.
He's not doing a great job, no.
He's racked with the salt coughs as he does it.
Oh,
Salt cough, the salt shake.
I love Pep immediately. Oh, man, I think he's great.
Thank you. So we'll cut back to the battle going on. And as you throw that fork, it was
paring knife.
Paring knife, pardon me, I knew that was wrong. As you throw the paring knife, the Ice Jester is circling around, and he tries to dip into the ground or into the icy floor, which you've seen him do, so you know to aim low. And as he tries to go in, the paring knife stabs into his shoulder, and you see it scratch along the ground, preventing him from going in, and he ends up tumbling out of the ice. Now, Holsteena, as Jules is run over to Elados, you are now, over him, trying to see if he's all right. He's barely wounded at this point. Holsteena, you realize you only have probably one attack left in you. What do you do?
I see the Jester stumble, and I charge in, and I bring my frying pan over my head and aim directly for his smug, pasty face.
And he goes to bring up his hands to cast some magic to stop you from smashing in his pasty little face. And as you do, you are also brought back several days ago, where you had went to go and visit for the first time in about 6 months your family. You are going to a little area outside of Fort Baconator, which is where your base mostly is, and you are going to your husband and your farm, which is called Caesar's Greens, where you are going to go and see your husband Caesar and your twin children Crew and Ton, both 3 years old-ish. You've been standing outside the house on the road probably for like 5 minutes, just kind of staring at the door. What do you do?
I quietly make my way up the dirt path towards my home, where I can see my husband Caesar working in the soil. I watch him for a moment, knowing that this may be the last time I get to see him do what he loves to do, which is grow vegetables for the great Queen Wendy.
And you'll see him there, tending the garden. He's got this like bright green flowy hair that kind of shifts in the wind. This like bright green little mustache and the soul patcher little patch down below. And you'll then hear like some light giggling coming from around the corner where he's at. And you're gonna see, stumbling through the plants, Crew and Ton as they kind of, roughhouse with one another. And you'll see your husband. Hey, now boys, come on, be careful. Don't hurt yourselves, and be careful for the greens, the lettuce. You're gonna bruise them.
At this point, I'll announce my presence and I'll say, mind your father's children.
And Caesar's gonna like kind of jump, and the your kids are gonna stop, wrestling and look up and be like, oh, Mom's home! And they're gonna, stumble and push one another to be the first one to run towards you. Crew is the one who gets there first. And, I win! I beat you, Ton! And they start arguing as they're like hugging your legs. And Caesar's gonna stand up and, wipe his hand, the dirt off his hands. And
As a
walk up to
super tall, strong person, I'm gonna pick the twins up with one hand by their feet.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna
Mom got us!
and then I'll dip my husband romantic style and plant a big one on him.
Yeah, very, very lithe man, so easy enough. So, you dip him and, oh, honey.
You dip him right into the ranch dressing.
Right, yeah. Light as a salad.
It's a Caesar salad.
Caesar dressing, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
fucking check yourself, John.
Yeah.
You're right.
Shit.
I have wrecked myself.
Caesar says, honey, it's so great to see you. I'm so happy you're home. Dinner's gonna be ready soon. The food should be here from Wendy's here soon. Wendy's, inn and tavern, where we order quite frequently from. It's the best food around.
There is none that compares to it.
There is none. None can compare to the freshness of Wendy's.
It's always fresh, never frozen.
Never frozen. No corners cut even. Oh, honey, it's really
So romantic.
Yeah.
Just like our love, we never cut corners.
I'm gonna steal that. Yeah, just like our love, we never cut corners.
He's gonna put his hand on your cheek and kind of rub it with his thumb, and you'll get a little dirt on your face and say, "Never cut
He
corners."
puts it on, not takes it off.
So, well, come on in. It's so great. Let me take your weapons. And you'll try it. You'll hand and they'll like kind of fall down a little bit. And okay, did this get heavier?
I have obtained some items.
And so you'll go inside. Are you still just carrying the kids upside down?
Yeah, I'll take them over to the wash basin, scrub them up a little bit for dinner.
Mom, we're getting lightheaded. Wait. Might be Mom, we're getting white-headed. I forgot the 3.
Yeah, they go lightheaded
Well, they're
for
only
sure.
seasoned at 3, right?
Oh my god.
Mom, my head feels funny. Put us down. And then you'll just kind of, you'll dunk your kids ceremoniously.
I do, yeah, like their heads of lettuce.
As you clean the kids off, Caesar prepares dinner on the inside, so you'll bring the kids in. They'll dry off. So you'll come in and he's set, the table, and he's, very happily putting, the fourth plate down where at your seat, which looks like it has no one sat there since you've left. So he'll come over and pull the seat out for you and set down this big, ding at the doorbell, and you'll get the delivery, and he'll come in and he'll start plating out, oh, chicken nuggets, those are my favorite. Your kids are both happy, they're getting their chicken nugget on, and you'll have, your hearty Baconator.
It's not Hardee's.
No,
Wendy's.
I said hearty.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's made with heart, like Wendy's is always.
Oh my god.
Always hearts, never lungs.
The delivery man luckily had an extra one of these, so and luckily it's your favorite. It's perfect. Everything's perfect. It's great that you're home, and you'll be staying. And he'll sit down.
I think that our next move it could be the final one. I'm not back yet.
Oh, I thought when you left you had said that you were, when you came back, that was going to be it, that you were going to be done with it. It's not that it's not great that you're home. I just thought, it'd be nice if, you could be home more, with us. We miss you. Yeah, Mom, we miss you. And then they're going to start eating and kind of zoning out. Yeah. They're gonna take a big drink from their giant gulps and gulp down 3 drinks of sugar.
As dinner concludes, and we've had a nice family time, and we're washing dishes together, I am gonna say a small piece to him, and I'll express that I am sorry that I'm not back for good, and if anything does happen, I want to assure you, Caesar, that you've made both my belly and heart full throughout this marriage.
And he's gonna slowly kind of stop doing the dishes, and he's gonna look over to you. You see tears are starting to well in his eyes. He says, "It doesn't even have to have a chance of it being the last time. You could just, we've talked about it. You could just retire."
I'm going to look over at the 2 twins sleeping in the crib, and I'm going to say, not till they can be safe forever.
But if you're here, they can be safe. You have there's other people in the Queen's army. They can take care of this. You've already backed the Jester in. What about your companions? Can't they just do it?
I can't leave them either. The stakes are too high now. And you know that when we initially exchanged vows, it was sort of just us, but it's much bigger than that now, and I have a duty to this land.
But what about the kids? What about me?
This is the best way to keep you all safe.
This is the best way for me? For us?
For everyone.
So that's the decision. You're standing firm. You're gonna go back out and maybe never come back.
There isn't another option.
There's always another option.
Not with this.
Well then, my wife, I guess it's great that I could at least spend one more night with you, and hopefully the kids and I will have more.
I hope so too.
And so you'll fade back into where you are now in this battle, after, last image of you just kind of both standing there staring at one another, Caesar's eyes welling up with tears, and you just staring down upon him. And we come back to the Ice Clown, who goes to bring up magic to cast at you, ends up casting a bolt of ice at you after seeing where you're coming from, and you can see fear in his eyes. He had confidence until you got up. He thought he was going to be able to get out of the way, but you see he wildly just throws an ice bolt at you. It whizzes by your head. You're able to see this is coming, and you move your head as you bring down your frying pan, weighing him right in his little pasty face, and his legs crack and he crumbles halfway down into the ice from the force before he's able to really grab hold and kind of just pulse ice energy at you. You block it with your frying pan, but it has enough force to slide you back about 15 feet along the ice into a pillar. You hit your back and you kind of go to one knee. After seeing all of this, Cranston, you see now an Ice Jester who is trying to form his legs once more as he's trying to rise up, having difficulty. You see cracks going all over him. He says, I will not be stopped. Something, the freeze will come. You can't stop it. It is eternal, unlike Wendy.
Not on my watch! And I will leap forward with my whisk, driving it straight to his heart.
Okay, and as you run, half slide into bringing it, he goes to bring up his hands to cast ice magic, and you see fizzling little like wisps of ice as his eyes go wide from lack of energy and knowing what's coming. As you go to bring what you think is the death blow, completing what you have set out to do, stop the Ice Jester and stop Flurry Storm from going off, bringing in a frozen age. You drift back to your last night before setting out to the Ice Jester. And we pan over a nice little quiet town near the French fry forest. The smell of fries wafts to the town constantly. It's wonderful. The town of Crinkle Plow, where you now walk up towards Tater Farms, your family farm. Your family, aside from you, were tenders of the French fry forest. You, though, decided that the best way to tend the fry forest was to join with the Queen Wendy's army.
Keep the forest safe.
Keep the forest safe. So, as you come up, you see your house. You see the fields of French fries, popping up from the ground that your family tends. You'll actually see workers out there right now tending the fields. Your family does have other workers that work there as well, or that come in.
I feel very proud that the fries are coming up well this year.
Thriving.
This is one of the things I fight for.
And this coming after, the tragedy of your parents being killed by creatures of the freeze.
Something I could have stopped had I been stronger, had I been trained better, which I am now.
And so you look out at the prosperity that your family's been able to, your brothers and sister have been able to bring back. And you walk up towards the house. Before you can even get halfway up the driveway, the door bursts open and you will see three men that all look very similar to you. Just try to all three cram their way out of the door at once, shouting out, Brother, you've come back! Brother's here! Get out of the way! Get out of my way! I'm going first!
My brothers, there's enough of me for all of you! Come!
And the youngest one slips down a little bit, goes through and runs up and grabs onto you first as your other two brothers grab the other sides of you, and you're just embraced in a big Tater family hug.
Where is my sister? Where is Mim? As I give them a big, hearty hug.
And you'll hear, I'm right here, brother. It is good to see you. And you'll see Mim, the spitting image of your mother standing there at the doorway.
Tear comes to my eye, but I wave her forward.
And she'll run out and jump into the fray, giving you
Talbot, Kellen, move aside.
And so they'll move aside just enough, and your sister will come in, and so you have this big family hug.
I hug her right over Vander's head.
You're having just a wonderful Tater family hug. And Mim will speak up, Brother, you're just in time for dinner, thank you.
That's wonderful. I see that the forest is flourishing. This is beautiful.
Yes, much. You've been away for some time, and everything is thriving, brother. We're bringing this place back. Yeah, little brother, we're bringing this place back. Everything's gonna be just like it was.
Mom and Dad would have been so proud.
And all three of the boys will all, stop, and they'll take off their little fry farmer hats and put it over their heart. They would, brother.
I see the salters in the forest tending right now.
Yes, we got the Salter's going over there. We've actually added a few since you've been gone. You know, that we're expanding. We're thinking of opening up another farm here in the next couple years.
Expanding the fields. I love it.
Yes. So please come in. We're about to have dinner. And they'll, wave you in, and they'll all run. There'll be another 3-way kind of pile up in, and your sister following along. How have you been, brother?
I've been well. I've been with companions that have been steadfast and true and strong. We all fight for Wendy and everything that Freshtovia stands for. I don't think that there's any chance the Freeze has a lick of ability to get against us.
That is. You tried that.
You just made up a word.
I was running down the road.
You got it, man.
Kept going.
Yep.
Keep going. Playing through.
So
Lickability.
She says, yes, it's okay, back to center. Oh, that's good, Barry. Yes, the lickability is wonderful of the fries this year.
So, tell me about how are we purchasing the Yukon's farm?
Well, the queen has increased her order of fries as of late, and we were able to use some new farming techniques that we found out, some new plants in the forest. We were able to make a new fertilizer that's really helping everything grow much quicker.
It won't be long, we will beat the russets. We shall be a larger farm.
We're working on, crossing a few of the different, fry strains, see if we can get some quicker growing crops. And
Was that Vander's idea? I mean, his time at the labs has done well?
Yes, Vander's come a long way since you've been gone, and it's really good to see you. Mom and Dad would have been very proud of you.
Sister, I'm so happy to be here, and I kiss her on the top of the head.
It's wonderful. We'll come. We have a great dinner. We ordered in tonight from Wendy's. The best place to eat. Wendy's.
Everything fresh, I'm certain.
Yes.
Delivered hot and fresh.
Hot and fresh. No corners cut. Except for the fries. We do make our fries here.
We make round French fries.
They're a little heathenish, but we like our round fries. So please come in. It's hot and ready, so let's go eat while we can. So you'll go in, and I mean, it's just like a normal Taterkin kind of dinner. There's 3 to 4 burgers per person. There's a mound of fries in the center table that you all eat picked fresh from outside and fried up in your
Drink in
kitchen.
one hand, a Frosty in the other.
That's right. The Tater family knows how to eat.
Absolutely.
And so Talbot, kind of going over it. So brother, we've all been, talking, and we know that Mom and Dad, would be very proud of where you've gone, in the Queen's Army, and
Well, thank you, brother.
and thanks to Wendy, our family has prospered.
Praise Wendy.
Praise Wendy. Everybody, all at once, praise Wendy, praise Freshness.
Praise Wendy. Praise Wendy.
Yeah. But things are expanding at the farm, and we wanted to, broach something with you. We know you're on a really important mission, but we could use your help here.
I understand. I believe that we shall be back very soon, and that I can lend my aid to you. But I see you've done well. We've got the Yukon farm coming under our control. We can plow the fields and plant there as well. Expand the forest. You'll do well before I get home, and then when I get home, it'll be time to harvest again. I shall be home before the harvest.
You will, brother? Your little one, the littlest.
I will, Vander. I will.
Oh, that's really wonderful to hear. Mim speaks up. This forest means everything to us, and it would mean a lot if you could be here with us.
The family together
I think that is what I've been missing on this trip.
Yes, well, we've all been missing you, so...
And I you.
And so I guess if, it seems selfish to want to ask you to give up on this quest, but, we miss you, brother.
But Wendy needs me. Queen Wendy commands, and I have to follow. I didn't earn the bacon stripes here for nothing.
That's right, you didn't. Well...
Double.
You always have to tell us that. We know it's double, and they all laugh. And then your youngest brother takes 2 pieces of bacon out of his baconator and puts it on. Look, I got double bacons too.
And Vander, you will have those as well. I'm certain. Just as soon as you're out of school.
oh no, that military life's not for me. So you'll kind of zoom out with this nice dinner, and with Mim's last words, that you really, fondly remember in this moment being, well, you just come back safe to us, all right?
I will. I promise.
Looking forward to it. And we'll come back to you, thinking of your family as you go to save Freshtovia. You know that the culmination of all your work is about to come to fruition. And as you stop running and then hunker down to slide, you bring your whisk and twist at the last moment into the ice clown, breaking the ice armor of his chest, stabbing through, ice crystals shattering out the back. You shouldn't be able to do that. I'm the Ice Jester.
Not anymore.
And you see he's gonna lunge forward at you and kind of grab onto your shoulder with his hands. It's purplish, icy blood dripping down. You see as his feet try to form to be able to stand, the ice crystals slowly quickly break down as he's having to hold on to you. He says, I didn't think it was possible, but you've stopped the frozen age. And then he turns to look towards the throne. But the freeze will always win. And as you look, all of you end up seeing his gaze, and those of you all are able to look, even you, Elados, who's kind of here. And Elados, you specifically would know what has happened, because as you all look, you look at this thing that he called the Flurry Storm. And what it was is inside of this ice crystalline orb that seems to be floating with icy arcane energy up. It was pulsating, and he was performing a ritual to enact this frozen age when you all came in. And inside of this, crystal ice orb, what you see is primordial frosty is what I want you to imagine. And slowly as this ritual was going and you came in, you see this primordial frosty, twisting and turning, trying to get to a point. And now you see that an ice shard, ice dagger, has pierced the crystal. And what was a contained kind of anomaly has now started to pulsate and vibrate. And you see the primordial frosty on the inside twisting and twisting and twisting. And he looks at you and says, the freeze wins today. And in an instant, as you all are standing there, you may have a moment to try and, put something over your eyes or try to move, but no matter what you do, the next thing you see is this flash of light that, wham, just bursts from this crystal. And after that icy whiteness, everything stops for you. Everything goes quiet. It's as if you have no thought, no worry, no nothing. And then, the next moment, you realize that you are starting to come to. And you realize your vision, as it starts to come back to you, is kind of warbled. And you're looking through misshapen glass. And you'll see that as you start to move, you're stuck. You're starting to turn, and you see the glass before you starts to crack. And as it cracks, you all have this moment where it shatters, and you stumble forward, you roll, and as if you've taken the first breath in a long time, just fills your icy lungs. And as you look around, you're in this room, and some of you who have moved forward actually have stumbled off of these little altars. This is a stone room. It's dark. It's dark except for these like bluish flames that are all around. You all are now looking around at each other, kind of coughing and shivering. You're cold, the coldest you've ever been. And you see this like kind of 10-foot tall stone entryway. All around you are carvings of what looks like you guys.
Multiple carvings of us?
Multiple, yes. Of all things that you remember doing. Fighting hunger in the forest, fighting, French fry fiends on your way to the Ice Jester. And you see this one that's at the center, kind of over all of you, and it shows, you all charging at what you imagine is the Ice Jester. You have the same stuff that you had, moments ago, and you're just kind of coming to. The air is stale. What are you guys doing?
Where's the jester?
I don't know. He blew up before me when I struck him with the whisk. The smell in here, I don't recognize this smell. It's not fresh.
How do we feel physically? Like, do we feel fine?
Yes.
Physically, you feel... So you kind of check yourselves, and you don't feel as wounded as you were. You feel rested, but kind of a little bit weaker. When you guys fought the Ice Jester, you were at peak condition. You guys have been training both through combat and, getting to the Ice Jester. You gain strength, but you kind of feel a little bit weaker now. And as you're looking around, you also notice where each of you came out of, there is this block of melting and cracking ice that you all seem to have come out of.
Elados, my friend, and I shall step over and give him my hand up.
Yes, gladly, yes.
Any ideas what that was?
To be entirely honest with you, I did not really see the last of the battle. Did we kill him?
I think so. I struck him. I drove straight through him with my whisk.
And then there was a bright light coming from
A flash.
the frosty orb.
From the frosty orb? Is this... Now, this, like, melting ice right here, is this something tangible?
Yeah, so you go over to it, and you kind of sense as you go near it, you can feel the presence of the freeze. Like, this is freeze magic, or freeze related. Yeah.
This is not normal cold. The freeze has not stopped. This is of the deep freeze.
It's clearly as some act of cowardice. He knew that we defeated him.
But it also means that if he's gone, the freeze is still invading the lands. We need to tell Wendy as soon as possible.
She is going to blame me.
Why do you say that, my friend?
Look, we all know this, how this has gone. You've all looked at me with suspicion long enough, but I do not know if I can go before Queen Wendy.
With us you can. You're our friend and our comrade.
You must.
You've proven yourself to all of us.
I can tell you truthfully, for me, I believed you were a heretic, but you have proven your worth and your strength and how much you love Freshness.
If Wendy didn't trust you, then you wouldn't be here on this mission with us.
She's so aware of the depths of our hearts, she would have stopped you from coming with us.
She would have seen any evil that lied within you, and I'm actually embarrassed that I didn't realize that sooner.
She didn't cut corners on putting us together.
This is true.
Let's make haste.
I want to inspect these reliefs on the walls and put my hand up to one and wistfully go.
Are they melting? All of the pictures of us?
The pictures seem to be carved into the stone walls themselves, and you'll go across them as you go to kind of touch on them. As you touch one, you'll notice that they're kind of ringed by like rectangles, so they're in different pieces. And as you touch one, light does go up along it, and you will see more clearly the actual like image. So the one that you just touched was you four all fighting the hunger beast in the forest. This big hulking pure hunger being.
Are these tales that we've told to people?
These were tales that you, had told to Queen Wendy
In our
and
debriefs.
and to Freshtovians.
Over here, like Lady Holsteena's strike with the beef bandit.
Yes, and you'll see your scuffle with the beef bandit that you remember having.
It's an effigy.
Someone's paid tribute to our quest and our victories.
Did we die?
I don't feel dead.
I feel that I am still where I was.
It is cold in here. You notice that your breath is showing. You are chilled, but you're starting to kind of warm up a bit now that you're out of the ice itself.
Have we been frozen? Are we now no longer fresh? Is this possible?
Don't say that.
I still feel fresh. I still feel like I did when I entered, just oddly not as strong. And I quickly look to make sure I have both bacons. The double bar still there?
Yes, the double bars are
One
still
hasn't fallen off?
Nope, still present.
I think I still have. If you look here, each of these reliefs, I see our strikes. Elados, your strike against the Pang. Over here, Jules, when you fought the Fry Fiend, it's what we did. It's our adventure.
I do say I think my arms are bigger than that.
I think it looks accurate.
I think it's accurate as well, my friend. I'm sorry to say.
Are there any reliefs that we don't recognize?
The only one that none that you don't recognize. I mean, there is the one with the Ice Jester, the final fight, but it doesn't have a conclusion. It just shows you all standing against the Ice Jester.
Are there any inscriptions, like on the stands we were on?
Are there titles or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, looking at them, you will see honorary titles on all of them. So, like Holsteena, you'll see your full, Lady Holsteena, Knight of Highland.
Is there anything in the room besides the ice?
No, so further, what you see under your name plaque is you'll see a number of, for each of you, accolades, like, if one of you killed one of the, like, Hunger, whoever killed Hunger, Slayer of Hunger. And under each of yours, you will see, Slayer of the Ice Jester, Protectors of the Realm, Freshest Among Us.
Look here on yours, Jules. I see the frozen mimic meal. I see the mucha pan, the extra bun. I see everything. It's all here. It's been emblazoned. But by whom?
We'll have to. I guess that's what we're about to find out. And how long have we been off the menu?
You think it's been a while? You think we've been
long enough to
frozen
carve
in
these?
time?
It's possible.
Should we not discern where we are first?
We should go and orient ourselves to the outside.
I say we head out of here. It's cold in here, and I don't like it.
I've not noticed this.
Yeah, so going over to the large doorway, there is a wall there, or what looks like a big stone door. As you go closer, though, you will see kind of a little circle with a carving of a hand where you would place a hand. You've seen these kind of things, it's a magical door, you realize. So one of you will place your hand upon it, and you will see arcane lights kind of light up, and you'll see out of the side stone will form these two hands with spatulas that come out and go under the stone door and then start to lift it up.
Okay.
The later evening, there's still some light out, kind of rushes in. It's definitely a fresher air. And you'll see going down like a little courtyard that's exposed to the outside. All around this courtyard, which is ringed by pillars, you're going to see 4 statues, each of you. And each of you, has a statue, and you'll see little plaques that are all covered in ivy. You're going to see a lot of ivy along the pillars, as well as flowers kind of wildly grown. You, looking at it, seemed like maybe at one point there was, some more order to it, but it's in a little bit of disrepair at the moment.
My ears aren't that big. I mean, we can all agree that that's inaccurate.
I think that's ivy, my friend.
Oh, good.
It's crazy. I just realized inside the cave, those are all freezes.
Oh, funny.
Right?
Yes,
Right?
good pun. Yes. Pun very well. Cranston and I have been around plants in both of our lives.
Absolutely.
Can we tell how long these ivy has been growing for?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, it looks like this place has probably been in disrepair is what I would say. Probably 5-10 years, maybe.
Years?
Years.
I mean, we know that ivy is an invasive species, but... Wow. Okay. Well, something is off. Something has sped up the growth of this ivy. I believe that it's potentially as much as 10 years. Holsteena?
I concur. As a practice soldier, I imagine I can tell from like where the Dave Star is and orient myself towards the city from there.
Oh God, Dave's star like the North Star. Is that what you're saying?
I guess he's Jesus. I don't know.
It would
love
be the
it.
brightest star in the heavens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you walk down, kind of trying to get yourself, walk down the steps to get yourself oriented. You'll look up at the sky. It's starting to get dark enough. You do see the bright Dave Star up there. And as you can do a 360 to look past the pillars, you do see Freshtovia off in the distance to the north. And, off in the distance, several miles away, you'll see it, peeking over some hills. It looks a little different at this point. Like, the walls are a bit higher than you remember. There's some building tops that you don't remember that it seems to have grown a little bit. So it's a little disoriented there. And then as you're looking, the other thing that catches your eye is down towards the south, where the beef gate would be approximately in kind of the deep freeze area. It takes a moment for you to really process what you're seeing, because it looks like there is a giant wall that's there that must be, if it's that tall this distance, 100 feet or more tall. But what it looks like to you is a long mass of green. Bunch of long strands of green rising up, leaves going as well, and it's this long wall of pole-like green.
And we don't see the actual gate.
No, you don't see the beef
This makes
gate.
no sense. They wouldn't let the gate grow over. They wouldn't have control. They couldn't keep it shut to keep the freeze out.
The gate should be to the north of us. Is that accurate?
The gate should be to the south.
The gate should be to the south of us.
Yes. So, where you see would be the gate, you see this large wall.
Are we just like out in the countryside?
Yeah, kind of looking around, and since you would know this area, you're looking at the hills that are around you, you're fairly certain you're in Dave's Double Hills,
And
which is to the southwest of Fort Baconator and to the southeast of the capital of Freshtovia.
And this is not where we went to fight the Jester.
No, not at all.
Who moved us here?
Whoever made the carvings and the statues.
I don't understand how this could have happened. I don't remember walking here.
Turning around and looking at where we just came from, does this look like a tomb?
Looking at it now, looking at the statues, there is a plaque against the wall that has ivy kind of grown over it. So it does look like something you would see. I mean, the statues resemble the same kind of style as the giant statue of Dave that's within Freshtovia proper, an honorary statue. You are all standing. You are all in stances that denote a military success, we'll say.
So are we somewhere south of Biggie Vale?
Do you see where Dave's Double Hills is?
I do.
Yeah, that you guys are within Dave's Double Hills.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we are north.
So can we also see the Baconator Fort? Or excuse me, Fort Baconator?
It's southwest.
No, that's so.
Oh.
You are southwest from
Oh.
Bacon, so it's northeast.
It's
to you.
northeast.
Now
Northeast.
looking, yes, you can you have to kind of go out of the
And
rings.
then directly to the east we can see Nuggeton? Or not? The
No,
Great Tower?
not from this distance.
Not
no.
from this distance. Okay.
And the freeze isn't around us right now.
You don't see the freeze swathed over. You don't even feel, aside from an evening breeze, you don't feel like a massive cold.
If we defeated the freeze, they wouldn't have to keep up Beefgate. Beefgate?
Yeah, the beef gate.
It could be.
No, but
that
they wouldn't simply allow it to be grown over.
this could be
mean-
a reinforced version of the border.
The freeze could come back. I mean, his final threat was that he would return.
We have no idea how long we've been. I'm assuming now that we've been stuck for some time in that area, and we have no idea what's happened since
I
we've been
believe
away.
when we prepared for the final battle, one of you, maybe it was you, Elados, said that you had the ability to stop time. Was that you?
Yes, I mean,
Could it have
I have-
this effect?
No, this only lasts for a couple of seconds. This does not last
What
for
if
this long.
What if someone got a group together that had this power? Do you think
Uh,
could have held us?
Hold on, stop. Are we going back to this? That you think everyone from Frosty is just
No, I'm trying to
to
understand
freeze
why
and kill?
we might have been lost in time.
No, my people had nothing to do with this.
I apologize, Elados, my friend. That is not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, if this power was pushed to its extreme, could we, the four of us, the heroes, could we have been stopped in time?
Well, you saw the Ice Jester's last move. Of
His last
releasing
move was to
whatever
tell me
that-
we wouldn't win, that the freeze would come back.
Yeah.
And oddly, as the Frosty burst, it didn't burst chocolatey, as a Frosty truly should be. It burst white.
Well, the Ice Jester did not deal in things as they should be.
I understand, but
Look, I suppose if it were to be pushed with the maximum amount of power, perhaps this is true. But this is not something I've ever heard of.
I say we return to Freshtovia and Queen Wendy, tell her of our battle that we've won, and see what happens from there. I'm certain the Great Queen would know what to do next.
I agree. Let's move.
I look forward to a hero's welcome.
That too. That too.
We can hope for this.
Okay, so you all are gonna head straight towards Freshtovia.
Elados, my friend, you should be excited to go see your partners, yes?
I do not want to talk about this.
And young Pep, Jules, to return to see him?
Well, with any luck, the salt lung hasn't taken him from me, depending on how long we've been away. He's either grown up to be a great worker and a strong warrior, or he's, let's just assume he's grown up to be a great worker
I think
and a
this is the
strong
right thing. And in
warrior.
Holsteena, your husband, your children, you must be excited to see them.
I'm afraid. If time has passed like this, who knows what's happened?
Your kids could be grown at this point.
We must make haste.
I mean, from what you've told me of Caesar, it's not like he's getting someone better than you.
Jules, where's your mind going?
This is
Of
meant...
course not. This is the Lady Holsteena.
Yes. I'm not the best at compliments.
Look, do not count this out. These things happen.
I say we make haste to the castle now.
I'm gonna walk between you guys and push you slightly as I march firmly forward.
Okay, so you all will start heading towards the capital city. As you go along, you start paying attention to your surroundings. I mean, you've traveled these lands before. There is an air of difference right now. It's hard to place. As you're going along, you're just starting to notice little things like the roads. The roads seem a little bit more worn down than they were before, maybe not as tended. You're not really seeing anybody on the road right now. You haven't passed anybody. It'll take you, a couple hours to.
This is strange. The trade road, they should be running from Nuggeton to the castle.
Yes, they should.
So it will take you, like I said, a couple.
And there's nobody else on the road?
No, you're not seeing anybody else, not this evening. And so as you cruise along, you think you're about maybe 30 minutes out from the city when you see a rider coming up. Actually, 3 riders coming up from the city. Well, the way they're tromping down the roads, they have the gait of maybe city guards, even some of Wendy's people, some of Wendy's guards.
Ho to the riders!
And as you shout out, they are riding up pretty quickly and will stop maybe 10 feet from you. These big, imposing people. You remember the garb of Wendy's knights and city guard. Bright reds and whites and blues. The armor that they have, it definitely is of a different style. You can see the style that you remember, but it's changed slightly, and all of the colors, while still there, just a little darker, maybe. You only really see it flitting in the torchlight that they have.
My friends, where's the beef gate?
They kill you immediately.
Sorry, man. You were asking for that one. You know what? I attack Cranston.
So they will look down and say, "What are you doing on the roads past curfew?"
Well, we return. We are the heroes. We have vanquished the Ice Jester. We are headed to the Queen herself to tell her of our tale.
So the one in the center.
Very well spoken.
Thank you. I believe I'm still frosted over.
All of them, as you mentioned, the Ice Jester, get tense noticeably as they're on their horses, and the two to the side, they draw their swords.
Whoa! You realize I am Cranston Tater. This is Lady Holsteena.
Say, you mentioned the Ice Jester.
Yes.
What do you know of the Freeze? Are you heretics?
It was vanquished.
You do not know who we are?
Good sir, we're the four.
This is a joke, yes?
We rode out from the Queen. Wendy herself sent us, with Dave's blessing.
They all look at one another.
I'll reach into my chest armor and pull out a scroll of writ.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. A writ of order from
there you
Queen
go.
Wendy.
So you pull that out, and they once again look at one another and say, that looks real.
Because it is real.
To be certain, also, your weapons would do nothing against us.
So
This is
you three, and he points to Cranston, Elados, and Jules, and say, "Stay where you are. You bring that writ closer, please."
I do
Does
so.
he not notice my armor?
And so he'll reach down and take it from you.
The double bacon bars?
Say, if any of you make a wrong move, we will strike you down as heretical followers of the Ice Jester.
What?
I don't understand what you are
He's-
doing out on the roads.
I am looking at Elados. I'm trying not to look accusatory. I'm trying to look inquisitive. I may not be pulling it off.
We are the four. We've returned to... We need to speak to Queen Wendy.
This is an old seal.
Wait. How old is this seal?
We must take you to Wendy. And he
Yes, that's what we asked you
rolls
to
up
do.
this seal.
This is what we wanted.
Hands it to you. Holds it back out.
Tuck it away again.
And they'll put their swords away and say, I don't believe what you're saying, but this is beyond me.
Tell me, is the armor there that you wear? Did you stop shining it? The reds and blues are in the right place, but they are certainly not the right color. Wendy would not be comfortable with this.
This is exactly as any knight of the Inquisition would wear. This is as
The
Inquisition?
Inquisition.
Wendy has inquisitors?
This is.
What year is it?
This is a good question.
And so he will tell you what this is the year 2022. And you know that is 50 years from when you guys were last sent against the Ice Jester.
I go, bah!
50 years.
50 years.
And that is where we'll end the first episode.
Okay. Oof.
50 years.
Oh.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Siegson Employees of the Month, FS, Michael H, Michael P, and our Breaker of Seals, the Jones, Frank H, Christopher C, Matthew K, and the Lab. Trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.